Hello and welcome to another video. On today's video, we'll be discussing strategy in the user journey. How might we that how might we how might we create a seamless tech integrated booking and touring experience that balances rich historical storytelling with authentic, flexible human connection for both tech savvy domestic travelers and value seeking international visitors? Ooh, this is a little bit close to my heart because I will be implementing a lot of this stuff for my own business in one way or another. Um, and my personas are based on actual customers who have booked with me. Obviously, their names and some details have been changed for their anonymity. Anonymity. As I'll start with the first story here. As a family coordinator, this is for Ren. As a family coordinator, I want to view a clear, multifaceted itinerary of the city's longest tour so that I can ensure the experience is worthy of my family's time and offers something for everyone. Next story for Ren. As a tech-savvy traveler, I want a streamlined digital booking process with instant confirmation so that I don't have to waste time on manual back and forth communication. Very reasonable, Ren. Up next, Verona here. Um, as a budget conscious explorer, I want to see transparent pricing and local insight value propositions on the website so that I feel confident the tour isn't a tourist trap before I book. Also very reasonable. Another by Verona here. As an international visitor, I want to access a secret link or QR-based media player during the tour so I can see historical photos or hear extra tea about the city, even if we are moving quickly between stops. That one is kind of some other project, so we'll see about that one, Verona. Don't sleep on that, or don't lose sleep on that. Up next, we have Tyler. As a local resident, I want to easily find the tour via search engines or SEO when looking for unique Seattle dates so I can discover an activity that isn't a cliche. Very reasonable. Go to Pike Place Market if you want that. Okay, and everyone, as a tour participant, this goes for everybody. I want the guide to have the flexibility to prioritize our conversation over a rigid script so that the experience feels like a slice of life walk rather than a lecture. And a lot of guides will tell you, off script here, but a lot of guides will tell you that's a big thing. People just want to talk, they don't want to listen. It's a nice thing about having some length in here. You're kind of expected to do both. I've kind of done just one though in both instances where it's just script for 2+ hours, just not really script for 2+ hours. So it's that sweet spot. Now we're going to look at the current versus future journey map, which is up on the screen here along with the other visuals. Um, Following map highlights the transition from a fragmented manual process to the integrated pocket guide and SEO optimized ecosystem being built. So uh, let's see here. Uh, I'll just go stage by stage here. And I'm not going to read the whole text, don't worry. For the discovery stage, the users are trying to find a tour amongst the big bus competitors and the SEO is weak. Optimized, there'll be high ranking blog content and SEO will land folks like Tyler and Ren on the site immediately. And this is near and dear to my heart. Like I said, I'm going to be working on this during the break. Woo. All right, next up, we have the booking. This is potential friction because there's external platforms being used right now, and there's not a direct integration on the website. Seamless experience would be users book directly on the site. Verona feels secure doing a professional local checkout, which I, if it's encrypted and all, I feel like most people are comfortable with that. But personally, I have to feel some trust there in order to do that. I'm obviously going to use a credit card and look for like stuttering or UI, something weird with a UI or weird fields or something like that. But generally, there's integrations to do that, so we'll have that covered. I'm going off script again. Okay, pre-tour users have low context, just a meeting point and a time, um, and a text reminder, whatnot, that kind of thing. But that's really manual. in Engaged, an automated reminder, email, SMS will be sent about a day prior, maybe even like less than that, which will include like, I don't know about the rest of the stuff. There may be a weather forecast, but we'll see. But it's the future, you don't want to say, no, we'll never do this. And then, somebody else does, and there goes everybody who was your customer. Okay. Now the tour. As we mentioned before, the guide feels pressure to hit the points, even when there's conversation flowing. And in the sort of hybrid approach here, there'll be an app that allows for that middle ground, but a lot of this will also just be sort of like based on the user stories, prompts that can help flow between the two. And an app like this would also be great if they want to go back or something like that, or push the book sale, but you don't necessarily have to hit all those points. Um, I know I'm kind of arguing with my own map here a little bit, but that's okay. Post tour, tips are cash dependent. Uh, I, that's kind of true. I actually, yeah, they are. I don't have a way to. I mean, maybe that's actually, yeah. Um, and there's a mental map of the city that stays in the user's head is the idea here. Take the tour if you're interested in learning more. Um, on the future map, the future journey, users keep access to the links in the map and revisit photos, and there's an easy digital tipping flow, so they don't just feel restricted to cash. You don't want to lose out on that money. Well, this has been about it. Just going to make sure I covered all my bases for the strategy and the user journey. So we had our how we might statement, our user stories, the current and future map, and the walkthrough. Yeah, I'm really excited for this project, so hope you enjoyed. Bye-bye.